Good evening, this is the XS Manchester Football Social. I'm Jim and we are kicking off the working week in the way we always do on XS Manchester with a whole load of football chat. And to provide that, we have two Manchester footballing legends in the studio as per. Former Red, Mickey Thomas, and welcome back City legend Gary Owen. Looking good, boys. Evening.
Evening, Jimbo.
You're a very healthy colour, Gary, after your week
trust me, before I went, I was not looking healthy colour. I was dying with what's called that Australian flu, whatever it is. But I tell you, 11 days to get rid of it. Still got a bit of a tickler going on now, but look, a bit of brownness on your face changes everything.
You look magnificent. That white T-shirt, white trousers,
Mickey, the vest. The white vest.
The three buttons open on the shirt with the gold medallion is a step too far, Gary, but other than that, looking good. Right, we are going to start with some slightly sad news, unfortunately. The passing of Jimmy Armfield, who died at the age of 82 earlier today. England captain, Blackpool icon, and a man who has been involved in football seemingly forever, as far as I'm concerned. He's going to be missed from the sport. Did either of you guys ever have your paths cross with Jimmy?
Yeah, well...
Loads of times.
Yeah, of course. When we were at various times covering football for City United, Jimmy would always be there. He was on BBC, I think, almost every week, even into the later years of his life. They respected his opinion, as did everybody in football. When you look at his background and where he's been and what he's done, World Cups and managing and playing, fantastic career, a true gentleman, no two ways about it. My path nearly crossed with him when he wanted to take me to Leeds United when I was leaving Manchester City. He was the manager there then. He wanted to take me there. But our paths didn't cross, so that's as close as I got to him. I spoke to him, and when I have seen him, or when I did see him, should I say, in days gone by, always a true gentleman, a vast knowledge of football, and through watching it and commentating on it for many, many years, he was a voice that you had to respect.
It's often when these people pass on that you kind of appreciate what they've done for the game, when you look back on their careers and you look back on their history, and this is a man who clearly had a massive impact on football. If you go to the National Football Museum at the moment, he's in the Hall of Fame there, and he's described as one of the first ever overlapping fullbacks, which is, of course, something that's been embodied by United down the years, Mickey.
Yeah, I just think he was a great guy. Gary said it all about him. A wonderful man. Great playing career, played for England, respected in the game, and you can see everyone now saying so many nice things about him. You can understand why. I mean, I've met him, at least 300 times, and every time he's still got that nice smile on his face. And you respect him for what he's done.
627 times he played for Blackpool, eh? You don't do that. And when Blackpool were at the top, no, of course you don't. But, but then went on, as we know, he managed at Leeds, and I think it was Blackpool as well. But when you think World Cups and...
Well, he should have captained England in the 1966 World Cup, shouldn't he? But had to missed out on the squad due to injury. What a different story that could have been as well if he'd been captain and during that tournament. Who knows? But anyway, a man who will be missed by the sport. So, we are going to talk about this weekend's games as well. Can
I just say one thing before we go any further? Because we've already, and almost a week's gone by now since a former teammate of ours, I don't know if you covered it, Cyril Reeds at West Brom.
Yeah.
When black footballers had a rough time, trust me, even in our time when they used to go away and play away, and people like him, Luther Blissett, Laurie Cunningham, Brendan Batson, Viv Anderson, and then Remy Mose a little bit later, they had it tough, trust me, with away fans. Thankfully that racism and that bad blood that was going on has gone. And Cyril, at the age of 59... It's a crying shame. He was physically in great condition. He looked. He was a non-drinker, non-smoker, looked after himself perfectly well. And when something happens that's so close to you... Can I
ask you a question? What was he like to play with? Because it magnificent physique.
You could play balls into him, he would hold it up. You could knock balls over the top, he had the pace. He was almost the total... Well, probably was the total centre-forward. You put balls in the air, he was strong in the air. And trust me, anybody that wanted to kick him did not want him to come back and retaliate. He was not an aggressive player, but what he would do, he would fight his corner, and if you put balls into him, he would give those elbows into...
I agree, he wasn't that nasty, was he?
No, not at all, no. He was a great footballer, scored great goals, left foot, right foot, heading, but as a striker, as a midfield player, he could knock balls into him, even not the best ball into him, he'd make it into a good ball because of the strength and power of him. His funeral, I understand, is next week, of which I'm going to attend. But it's sad. It's sad not only for football, but for him and his family and all friends that were of him, because 59 is no age.
And you know what? I think we could all wish that when our time finally comes, that we're remembered in the same way as legends like this are remembered, and there is some kind of legacy that we've left behind, which these men certainly have. And they have left a legacy, and they have made a difference in their lives.
Cyril also not only pioneered it, and it's easy to say that he pioneered it, because as did Viv, as did Luther Blissett, Brendan Batson. All the black players at that time were pioneers for football. But Cyril also, he was a director for Christians in Sport. He supported a lot of younger players that were coming through. He gave them advice for no cost to anybody. He was somebody you could always give a call to. In fact, we play West Brom on the 31st, our next home game, and I was understanding, because I spoke to the West Bromwich Albion former players, a guy called Jeff Snape, who informed me that Cyril was going to be one of the guests at the game. So it's also sad that I won't see him again, because the last time I saw him was when he was a guest at the club 2 years ago. But at 59 years of age, I repeat, it is no age to be taken.
Fitting tribute, Gary. We are going to talk about the weekend's games very soon. Your views on that, 0345 111 76 25, if you want to get involved in that. But before we turn to Burnley versus Manchester United for the weekend, there is some breaking news happening as we speak. The transfer from Alexis Sanchez to Manchester United from Arsenal has been confirmed. A straight swap deal which sees Henrik Mkhitaryan going the other way. Mickey, you've got Sanchez at your club.
Well, I think it was well documented that he was going to sign, and he has done now. I think he'll enhance our chances, hopefully. The league is going to be very, very difficult, but Champions League still a possibility with him on board. We have a good opportunity to bring that back to Old Trafford.
When you watched Manchester United versus Burnley at the weekend, it wasn't the most inspiring performance from United. No. Do you look at that and go, that team needs Sanchez in? The sooner the transfer happens, the better.
He's got that energy, that aggression, and all good players at the top. But they have that work ethic, and he has that in abundance. He's a quality player in terms of scoring goals, but he gives you so much more to the team. His energy will get other people up for it as well. So I think it's great for United to get him. It's been a long, drawn-out thing. Mkhitaryan, we wish him well. He's a player, I think he's got amazing ability. Unfortunately, he couldn't get that consistency at Dortmund into United. So we wish him well.
Could be some great business for Arsenal there, getting Mkhitaryan as well. If they get Aubameyang from
apparently
Dortmund as well. I mean, those are two players that 2 seasons ago were absolutely on fire in the Bundesliga. That could be a very inspired bit of business for Arsenal.
Well, yeah, I think for me, Mkhitaryan on his day, it's a wonderful player, no question. I just think, he didn't fit into United. Maybe it was too big for him, I don't know. I'm just speculating on that. But one thing is, when he did play well, he looked a top player.
Gary, disappointed that Sanchez won't be playing in Sky Blue next season? I mean, it's been dead for a while, that transfer.
Yeah, of course. Sanchez is a great player, and any side would like to have him in. That's why we coveted him for so long. We thought we had an agreement with him, but when somebody offers you 450 grand a week and $7.5 million sign-on fee per year for 4.5 years, it takes him up to 34 years of age. Why wouldn't you do it?
Are you kind of glad that City pulled back from that, a point of principle? They didn't try and go into an arms race with United.
Well, I just think now that if you put somebody on that sort of wages, Pogba, I think, has already been stated that, he wants to be on a parity with Sanchez, so he goes up from whatever he's on, 300 grand up to 400 grand. It just then, it makes everybody think that maybe the club's not paying them too much. So I'd like to have seen him with us, of course I would, but if it's going to be to the cost that everybody else then starts saying, well, I should be worth that. I mean, I'm just looking now that De Bruyne has just signed a new 6-year deal with City with probably half the amount of money that Sanchez has signed at United. So we'd like to have had him there. We don't have him. He's 29. We've been buying players of late, younger, and bringing them on. But he would have been a great addition to us. He's not going to be a great addition to United.
And as you say, a delicate ecosystem is a football dressing room, and if a player goes in on £400,000, it can upset that balance.
And we're sat here now. If somebody said to you, I'll tell you what we're going to do, we're going to pay you 275 grand, and then somebody said, we'll pay you 450. I'm sorry. Manchester Blue or Manchester Red, of course, money's got
Is that
to
it?
talk.
It's nothing to do with the legacy of the club,
No,
nothing
it's
to do
not
with
just-
trophies,
listen,
it's all cash?
Listen, United are a massive club, there's no two ways about it. And of course you're going to get the adulation and all the stuff. That's work in progress for United. Of course it is. But I say work in progress. I was looking, Mickey, I don't know if you noticed, the Premiership, yes, we've lost one game, they're all saying great. You know, United's only lost 3. Liverpool have only lost 2 games all season in the league.
Liverpool win tonight, they're still 15 points behind.
Yeah, no, but the difference
Still.
is they've drawn 8.
15
And the draws have been the killer. But when you think United's only lost 3, Liverpool's only lost 2, and City have lost 1. Normally, when somebody's that sort of 1, 2 and 3 games only lost, there'd be a few points, but not 12 and 19, I think it is, with Liverpool.
Don't forget that breaking news. Manchester United have confirmed the transfer of Alexis Sanchez, a straight swap deal with Henrik Mkhitaryan going the other way. He'll be joining Arsenal.